Hi everyone, welcome to the next lesson on equations in one variable. So before we proceed for our learning objectives, we actually have 2 weeks for this. So I hope that somehow you learn the basic of equations in one variable. So this is our learning objectives are as follows. So number one, to solve linear and quadratic equations in one variable. Equations in one variable involving rational expressions and radicals. Later on, I will discuss some of the terms that you will encounter as we go on with this lesson. Okay, next, solve problems involving algebraic equations. So we're now moving to uh, not really that complicated, but this requires focus on your end and also practicing with me as we solve the problems. All right. So now let's continue. Let me just introduce some of the terms that we will encounter as we proceed with the lessons. All right. So the first thing is what we call the algebraic expression. So you always hear this, as I mentioned this before, but I'm not sure though if this was introduced by your first instructor back in your laws of exponent or when this was introduced in the orientation. But let me just refresh your memory. So this is when we say algebraic expression. This is the combination of variables. When we say variables, these are the letters that we see like x plus y. Okay, so those are called variables, and of course the numbers. So x plus 3. So if you see that, okay, that kind of uh, expression, that is the algebraic expression. All right. So you already encountered that in the lessons we had before, the polynomials. Alright, so um, next would be equation. All right. So what is equation? Now equation, this is the one with the equal sign. Okay. So these are two statements. Okay, or a statement that says two expressions are equal. So say for example, x plus 3 equals 0. Okay. So x plus, so that is an equation because again, there are two equations there, and then it uses the equal sign. Or x plus 3 equals x plus 3. Okay, so that's an example for that. Next would be solve. So how do we solve? So to solve an equation means to find the value. So what is the value of x? So this is where you are introduced to knowing what is the value of your x. No, not really. I mean the x. Okay. Or whatever variable we use for such expression. Okay. So these values are called solutions or roots of the equation. Okay. Next. So sometimes an equation can have more than one solution, which is true. So the solution set contains all values of the variable that make the equation true. So that would be later on. If you notice before, during the polynomials, when we factor out, and then when we try to check whether we have the correct answer or not, the checking of it. Okay, so we try to check we try to um, check whether the answer or the GCF that we found is correct. Here, if we found out that if we already have the x is equivalent to 4, and then we try to substitute the x with the answer that we get from the solution, okay, that is the what we call the solution set. So again, we try to check the value, okay, which makes the equation true. Okay, so if no value, so later on I will give you an example for that. Okay? So if no values of the variable make the equation true, we say that the equation has no solution. Because we always make sure that two statements are equal. So that's the reason there is the equal sign. So say for example, you get when you solve what x is and then you try to substitute but it didn't give you the same expression, then it has no solution. Okay? Or you come up with a different answer. You have a wrong answer. So you need to reassess your answer for that solution. Next, an equation that is true for any value of the variable is called an identity. So here, as we proceed with with solving of problems, okay, we will encounter this. In this case, we say the solution set is the set of real numbers. We'll encounter this part as we proceed with our topic. Alright? So for you to easily understand it. So two equations that have the same solution or sets are called equivalent equation. So here's the example. 3x plus 7. So here, the 3 is the coefficient of x. Alright? So x here is the variable. Okay. And then here, the plus 7, this is what we call the constant. Okay? So, but here, the 3 here, which is next to x, this is what we call coefficient. Alright? Okay, so equivalent to 13. So again, this is another constant number. This is a constant. Excuse me. It's constant. It's constant. Okay, that's it. So here the solution to check. So this one is an equation. Okay, so this one is same solution set. Okay, they need to have a same or equal equation. So we first find what x is. So this is getting the value of x. So 3x plus 7. Alright, so what we do is we combine both terms. 3x, this is one term. This one is another term. This one is another term. So what we do is to get the x, we let the x stay on this left side. Okay, so 3x. And then we transpose that positive 7. Okay, this positive 7 to the right side. And this becomes negative. So from positive, transposing it to the other side. Okay, so this is so this is passing, okay, so passing that, passing the equal sign, okay, so transposing it becomes negative 7, so 13 minus 7, so that means, or that is equivalent to 6, so 3x, and then divided by 6, we have to eliminate this coefficient to have just the variable x. Again, we are looking for the value of that x. So, the value of that x. Wow. Okay, so there are actually 2 steps. I will teach you later the steps on finding or eliminating the coefficient of that variable. Okay, so then divided by 3 to eliminate that. We undo that. Okay, so divided by 3. Of course, if you do that on the left side, you also have to do whatever you do on the left side, you have to do it on the right side. So if you divide this by 3 to just eliminate the coefficient 3, and then you have the x there. Also, you have to divide this by 3. So 6 divided by 3, then you get the 2 answer. So x is equivalent to 2. Now, let's try to substitute if we get the equivalent equation. So 3x here is 2. So 3 times 2, of course, you have to do it first. Then it becomes 6. 6 plus 7 equals 13. Then you get the equivalent solution. Equivalent equation. Right? So when solving equations, it helps to find a simpler equivalent equation in which the variable is isolated. So here, then the value of x is correct. So a linear equation in one variable, x can be written in a form of a. So again, a, okay. These are real numbers, but again, the a is the coefficient of x. And then b, this one is constant, okay, it's equivalent to 0. where A and B are real numbers and A is not equal to 0. Because the moment you put here 0, that's the reason it shouldn't be equal to 0. Then this becomes 0. Because whatever we multiply to 0 is equivalent to 0. Okay. Now, we can also classify a linear equation. Anyway, please, if you feel like you're confused, okay, just do not focus your mind on this. Again, I will give you an examples or give you more examples so to understand linear equation, okay? So we can also classify a linear equation as a first degree equation. So anyway, so this is just an introduction of the equations in one variable, what you need to expect in terms of linear equation. The next video lectures I'll be uploading will be about how to solve, how to get that x, how to get the value of x, and then how to determine whether the solution that you have or the value that you have is correct. All right? Okay, so please wait for my video lecture. Thank you.